drop down and swing up. And then make them a constant speed again, just to really feel that difference. Everything is a constant speed. The orientation, the weight shift, the shapes you make. And then allow your pendulum to go again. So this is a lesson where we're really including momentum in a way. Really using this to engage your middle more, to get more weight shift. So that you can make the largest possible oscillation till that you can get to a point, you're at it, Simon, where you just continue to go around and come back the other way. So you'd start to make a circle. If you really keep that oscillation going, it just turns into a circle. So it's never a constant speed. Yeah? Feel free to change your legs if you haven't already changed which one's in front. See, that might make a difference. And really notice as you make this circle, are you getting more and more round as you do it? Are you getting taller as you do it? What shapes is your torso making? What's happening in your collarbones? Because we've stopped a lot of the movement through your arms, through your forearms, which is hopefully really going to allow you to find that you've got collarbones and shoulder blades and sternum and ribs. And leave it and lie on your back. And see if that's done anything to your contact with the ground. Anything different in your chest or your breathing? And could you find that same configuration of your arms now in lying? So now your hands will be toward the ceiling. And again, really take your time, do one arm at a time. Just really feel, how do I organize that? What happens through my collarbone, my shoulder blade, my ribs, my sternum, my neck? To get one arm, my left arm up first, palm pointing down in the direction, thumb pointing down in the direction of my feet, and then to bring my right arm over so that I can interlace my fingers. And once you've found a way to get there, so your hands are up toward the ceiling, arms are crossed, fingers are interlaced, could you gently bend your elbows a little bit and straighten them a little bit? So obviously as your elbows bend and widen, your hands come closer down towards your chest. And as your elbows straighten, your hands move away from your chest. And then find a comfortable place there, anywhere along that trajectory where for you it feels, my arms feel light here, my shoulders feel light, my breathing is easy. And then begin to take your arms right and left. So your right elbow will be going toward the floor on your right-hand side. Your left elbow will be going toward the floor on your left-hand side as you go to the left. And feel, do you want to keep that same configuration of your elbows, or could there be a softness in your elbow that as you're doing this, going side to side, they might want to change their shape a little bit. They don't have to stay a constant amount of bend. But that your elbows are soft enough to allow maybe one elbow to bend as one straightens, as you go one way, and then the other. Feel how the weight shifts. And then next time you're over to the right with your elbow on the ground or somewhere near the ground, could you begin to sweep your right elbow up in the direction above your head? So your hands are going to go above your head toward the floor. And then you're going to keep going around, around, around until your left elbow touches the ground and it then comes down along the floor and sweeps down in the direction of your pelvis, your left elbow. So you're going to start making a big circle with your hands. But Karen, your arms are going toward the floor. It's not just a big circle with your arms. So first of all, let your head down. Take your arms over to the right. Karen, this is for Karen. You keep doing what you're doing. And your right elbow can bend to let the right elbow go toward the floor. No, over to the right, Karen. Over here. Over to the right. Your right elbow can bend to take your right elbow toward the floor. Yeah, and up. Oh, God. Hang on, we're going to get round, just not the way you're doing it. Yeah? And then when can this elbow get down? Less effort, much less effort. And legs down long. The legs are long so that you're not using your pelvis to do all the work here. Of course, your pelvis is going to be involved, but it's not doing the movement. You're trying to find what can happen in my upper chest, my sternum, my upper ribs, my neck. Gently, easily. Change direction if you haven't already. So you're not doing a lot of rolling here. Your pelvis is staying on your back. It doesn't mean it's not moving, that it's not helping you, but it's much quieter. Your legs can be quiet. They can be responding, but they're quiet. And then, with your hands still configured like this, could you take both hands to your right shoulder? Just find a way to take both hands to your right shoulder, to touch your right shoulder. And then could you take your hands down along the right side of your torso, down across your lower torso, your low belly, up the left side of your torso, to your left shoulder, and then maybe up around your head. Hands touching all the way around your head and then down to your right shoulder again, down your side. So now rather than the hands being out distally, it's more your elbows that are the distal part and your hands are staying a little bit more in the middle. And can you change directions doing that one? And then for a moment, go back to making the bigger circle with your arms again, where your arms are more, not so much midline, but they're at the extension of your arms making the circle. And your neck's soft and your legs are soft. And leave it. Feel what that might have done to your contact with the ground. Maybe something in your breathing, maybe one or two more ribs that you might feel are able to be involved in your breathing. Or maybe some of these movements are giving you a little clearer image of where my collarbones sit relative to my chest, where my shoulder girdles sit relative to my chest. Come up to sitting again. And configure your arms in the same shape, and feel if after doing that more movement that involved all of you, now how much of you comes along for the ride now when you take your left arm forward and then your right arm on top. Do you feel there's a little bit more of you involved? Bring your hands back towards you by widening your elbows. And then turn your hands down. And which shoulder would it be easiest to take your hands to? Your left shoulder or your right shoulder? So just follow it. Go really gently and just feel as I turn my hands through, is the one shoulder somehow that my hands, it's just easier to take them to when I have my right hand on top of my left. Is there something about which hand is on top that's going to preference my hands to go more toward one shoulder than the other? It's the one that somehow just makes more sense. Of course you can go to both. But does one somehow just make more sense? And then each time you go out and you come back, go to a different shoulder. And you're making it as easy as you can. So what does your sternum do? Where do your ribs go? What shapes can you make? And how much freedom can you find in your shoulder girdles moving over your ribs? So that once you go to your right shoulder, once you go to your left shoulder. And each time you come in to your shoulder, you go out and straighten again. And you come in again Then you go out and straighten again. How does your pelvis support this? Does it help if you get longer in the front at some stage or shorter in the front? If your head goes up or down. Really exploring what could make it even easier. Really feeling as they come, what do my shoulder blades need to do? Where do they need to go? To swing my arm, to swing my hands through. Do they come apart or do they go together? And then next time you've got them through to your right shoulder, keep them there. And now could you use your hands and make a circle around your face with your hands? So you start off at your right shoulder and then you're going to make a circle with your hands around your face. And again, there's lots of ways you can do this. Just explore. So one is that you can keep your head still and move your hands relative to your face. So your head doesn't move much. And you move your hands relative to your face. Another one is that you could basically keep your hands fairly still and move your head relative to your face. Or of course you can move both together. And can you reach over the top of your head when you make this circle? Maybe you could even reach across the back of your head to go toward the back of your neck as you make this circle. And maybe if you can get your hands to the back of your neck, you could make a circle around your neck with your hands. So that you can find a way to get your hands around the back of your neck near your first rib, and then they come around the collarbone to the sternum, and then they circle around the other collarbone to the back. But just go where it's easy. Keep your breathing soft. And if you haven't done both directions, try the other direction. So your hands are always in the same configuration. It's always your left one starting out and the right one on top. As you're doing this, can you get an image? Can you get a picture through your sensory motor experience of what's happening in your shoulder blades and your upper back, your neck? Okay, pause again in the middle and sitting. Swap over your legs again if you haven't. Just notice as you're sitting there, does anything feel different? So again, take your left arm forward, right arm over the top, come through, and then straighten them out the other way, in front of you. Yeah, and back again. So you come through and then you take them out. You bring them back. And feel what has to happen in your chest, what has to happen in your sternum to let you straighten them out in the other way. So is it possible if you're here and you keep your sternum down, how easy is it? You can do it. But what happens if your sternum lifts? Okay, so now that they're out in front of you again, as you bring them back, just find somewhere comfortable halfway to bring them back. Feel your fingers are free, your shoulders are soft. You can shift your weight. And could you begin to think of how you could bring your right elbow through the loop of your left elbow? And this is where ambition can come in and be the undoing. And if you can do it once easily, find a million different ways, a million different directions. So as you're getting there, do you just... Is there a different trajectory your head could go in? Is there a different shape your torso could make that might help that elbow? And what's got to happen in your wrist, your right wrist, to get it through? We'll call this puzzle number 1. Number 5. Yeah. And then same idea, but this time instead of taking the right elbow through the gap of the left, could you take the left elbow underneath the right elbow? And this is where sometimes it's really confusing because it's like, which is my left, which is my right? I don't know there. Sorry? Yeah. So you took them out again, yeah, and as you came back, last time we took the right elbow through, this time you're going to take the left elbow under the right. Same configuration. Yeah, the left elbow under the right elbow. It's virtually the same movement, but you've got to take your arms often somewhere different to do it. It's exactly the same, except instead of your right elbow going through, what were you doing before? So before you were taking your right elbow through the... You might have. You're going to have lots more opportunities if you... And then could you do both together? At the same time? Yeah, the left elbow under as the right elbow goes through. She's got it. Oh, where do your hands need to go to get there? Did you find your hands went to one shoulder more easily than the other before? So has that got something to do with where it might be easier to get your elbows to go through? Who could think up these movements? No ambition, no ambition, no ambition. No ambition, no ambition. Have a lie on your back. Let's take a moment to sense the differences. I would say, you know, and some of you are already finding this beautifully, the biggest thing you're learning doing these movements is inhibition. To inhibit the effort. To inhibit the habit. Okay, so after doing all those, for most of us, quite unusual movements, how would it be to roll to your side to come up to standing now? Does anything feel a little easier? Is your pelvis more able to travel this trajectory without having to stop? So what does this ATM evoke? For you personally, what does it do by tying your hands together like that? So what feels different? Do you think after doing a movement like that, what's a two-armed activity you can think of? Golf. Would golf feel different after a lesson like that? Yeah, no, they're not necessarily two-handed. Double-handed. Yeah, double-handed bat. Yeah. Basket. Yeah. A lot of it's though too. Yeah, the two-handed part of it. What would feel different through this area for you at the moment? And what are some more besides sport? What are some more things? And eating dough. With a partner where your hands are fixed, maybe. Huh? Driving. Vacuuming. I love this, giving to people for vacuuming. Well, really, because you just feel if you were going to vacuum at the moment, would it feel a bit different? Yeah? Chopping wood. Yeah? Using a broom. Anything where, you know, your hands are more fixed. Huh? It's going to make a huge difference. And feel, because you've found a little bit more proximal organisation, how soft do your fingers feel? How would you be organised to do something with quite fine detail now? Huh? Okay. So, have a walk. We'll see you again in the morning. Good first day. Well done.